Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I wanted to meet with you all about a technology tool that our district has as an application in Clever called Nearpod. Have y'all ever heard of it? Okay. Well, I wanted to talk about it today because it has a lot of really cool features that are helpful for students with diverse learning needs. And I think as a special education teacher, it may be beneficial to use with your students. So today I want to talk about what Nearpod is and what it can do for your students. And I also want to show you how to create a lesson on Nearpod. I have sent you all a link to your email of my Google Slides presentation as a reference that you can use. And I also sent a handout that you can refer back to as well. Okay, so let's talk about what Nearpod is. Okay, what is Nearpod? So Nearpod is a lot of things. There's a lot of features on Nearpod. It's an interactive presentation tool. It's an assessment tool. It's a real-time student engagement tool. It allows for asynchronous and asynchronous learning, has built-in accessibility features for diverse learners. Benefits for diverse learners. It has visual and audio recommendations, multi-modal learning, self-paced options, visual and audio recommendations, immediate feedback, differentiated instruction capabilities. Essential features for diverse learners. So on Nearpod, you can allow students to have text-to-speech functionality, drawing tools for motor skill development, interactive activities with built-in support, audio recording options for verbal responses, and memory games and matching exercises. There's a whole lot of things on here. Also, it's beneficial for special education teachers with all the data that you got to take is it has progress monitoring tools. It has real-time student response tracking, post-session reports, individual student performance data, group progress monitoring, easy IEP goal documentation, and exportable assessment results. Okay, so those are all the things that are great for diverse learners and as special education teachers that you can use. But now I kind of want to show you what Nearpod is and what it looks like and how we're going to create a lesson. So if y'all could kind of do this with me, we're going to practice logging on. So if you go to Clever through Huntsville City Schools on your Clever, if you go ahead and get on there, and just let me know when you get there. Okay. So if you go down to your application, it's going to look like this. There is an icon that says Nearpod. It's a blue circle. It looks like books. Okay, so you're going to click that and it should automatically log you in. You also can log in through Google, like a personal account, Microsoft as well, but we do have it through Clever. Okay, so once you log in, it should show this. Okay, this would be your dashboard. Okay, so this is going to be your main screen. This is your home screen. It shows your recent lessons, your saved lessons, and any live sessions that you're running. Okay, and then on the left side are reports. So when students take assessments or any kind of quiz, the reports will be there. So you can view detailed reports from your lessons, including student participation, quiz results, and activities. And then create is that plus sign. So you're going to use that option to create new lessons, quizzes, interactive activities, or explore the Nearpod library. Now, before we create a lesson, I want to show you just all the really cool things on the library. I just want to show it to you quickly. So I'm clicking this plus sign for create a lesson, and it says explore the Nearpod library, which you don't have to click this, but if you want. So on the Nearpod library, you can look at lessons that are provided, and you can look at it through, you can click grades, and so you can click which grade you want, all the different subjects. They have tons of things on here, different content types, so videos, activities, and lessons, and then the publisher. So there's a lot of different publishers that put these lessons on Nearpod. So like if I wanted to do second grade, and click it. And let's say I want to choose the subject, science. What is an insect? I'm just going to click one. Okay, I'm going to hit preview. It's working. There it goes. Okay, so on here it has like a video, open-ended questions. So these little dots are little activities that were put into it, multiple choice questions. So when you're making a lesson, you can add all these things in there. But it has different slides, videos, and just different activities for them. So that's what the Nearpod library has available. Tons of things. But we're going to talk about creating a lesson. So I'm going to go back. I clicked this Nearpod, where it says Nearpod on the left-hand side. It kind of just brings me back to the home page. And I'm going to click create a lesson again. Okay, so it should look like this. So if you want to do this with me, you can click create a lesson from scratch, which I'm going to click. Okay, and so when you're creating a lesson from scratch, you can add content and activities. You can add a slide. You can upload your own files, create a quiz. So what I'm going to show y'all is I'm going to upload my Google Slides presentation into my lesson. Hit individual slides. It just takes just a few seconds and it'll pop up. But you can create your own blank slides, which we'll look at it in a minute. Okay, so now my presentation just got put into my lesson. Okay, so we were right here. Okay, so creating a lesson. So we created it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add different content. So you can add in your slides, you can add text. So there's a little text button here. You can add whatever you want on your slide. Images, you would click here. Videos, audio, you can add GIFs, you can write on it. Okay, there's lots of editing features. There's also AI that you can use. There's different things you can add with AI. And for activities. So for activities, you can include polls, quizzes, drawings, collaborative boards, etc. by clicking Add New. Okay, this plus sign on the left. And there's a lot of things you could add here. So for media, okay, those were what we were looking at. For interactive, this is really cool. You can add videos, web content, brain breaks. There's brain break videos that are provided on the website you can add in the middle of the lesson. So that's really good for our students with diverse learning needs as well. A virtual field trip, you can add those in here. So for quizzes, so there is drawing it. So students have multiple response methods. They can draw an answer, fill in the blank. There's memory tests, drag and drop, matching pairs, collaborative board, a poll, etc. Lots of things. And also you can customize and organize your slides by just moving them around, kind of like how you would on a PowerPoint. And you can just design it as needed. And then when you finish that, you would just hit preview lesson just to make sure everything looks good. And you would save it. Now to assign it, okay, so let's say I'm going to save and exit. I'll just show you real quick. You could hit teach when you're done. And there's two different options. So you could do live participation, which controls the pace on your own device, and students respond to questions on their device. Or you can have it student paced. And so students would complete it, the assignment on your own. So their own. So when you click it, it does give a code. So they would type in this code to view the lesson. And then it also has some ways that you can link it to them different ways. Okay, go back. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. Okay, so now we're going to talk about modifying content. So this is especially important for students with diverse learning needs. So on Nearpod, you can adjust the difficulty or content for different learning levels by modifying the slides or activities before presenting. So you can use audio supports or add audio to slides. So to do this in the slide editor, you're going to click on the audio icon, and I'm just going to show you an example. And you can include voice notes for specific activities, such as giving instructions or explaining concepts. So if I wanted to record audio and I wanted this to read what the slide says, I would just hit record. So I'm going to just read the title, Modifying Content, and stop. And then you save it. And so when they view the slide, they would just hit play. Okay, so it would read it to them. So that's really helpful for those students that might have a hard time reading or that need that text, the reading it out loud feature. So for implementing visual aids, you can add images or videos to your presentation as well. So any kind of images, maybe for a student with autism that might need those visual supports, you could add that on there and add any kind of video. And I do have, this is also on the reference guide that I gave y'all. So if y'all need to look back on where to click for things, I have it in the Google Slides presentation and also in the handout. Another thing you can do to modify content for diverse learners is adding activities like Draw It or a Collaborate board where students can use visuals to demonstrate understanding, and then provide multiple response methods. So types of responses. Students can respond in different ways using multiple choice, open-ended questions, a poll, or drawing. Okay, so to do this is one thing I wanted to practice with y'all today. So if y'all are still on here, I wanted to practice making a poll. So if you hit add new, you would just go to discussions, and then you would click poll. Okay, so once I click that, I'm going to hit add. Okay, let me know if I'm moving too fast. Okay, I got it. All right, so I'm going to put on here for my poll, you can just make up any kind of question. I'm going to say, what is your favorite subject? Okay, and then I'm going to say reading, science, and math. Okay, so you can do any question. You can copy my question, whatever. So when you finish that, you'll hit preview lesson just to make sure it works. And so it should come up and you should be able to just click one. So like that. Hey, do we have any questions about that? We all able to get that? Okay, perfect. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is tracking student progress. So when you're having to take IEP goal data or any kind of progress monitoring, this is very helpful because there's lots of things you can track. So if you go to that reports section that we looked at the beginning, you can track completion rates, who completed the lesson, the scores on quizzes and activities, engagement during the lesson, including time spent on slides. And you can also filter reports by specific students or time periods to monitor progress over time. So I'll show you that real quick. So on reports, I'm back at my home screen. I'm going to click reports on the left side. This was just one that I made. For this lesson, if I click the session, you can see summary, activity reports, what they had put, how long it took them to do it. Okay, and then also you can save it as a PDF, so you can download it and save it. So if you wanted to keep it like in your progress monitoring binder or whatever, you can have it like that. Share this. So the last thing I have on here is interactive activities. So these are just some extra things that would be really good for diverse learners that you can do. So you could do a drag and drop for sorting activities, time to climb for math facts practice, matching pairs for vocabulary, a drawlet for fine motor skills, fill in the blanks with picture support, and a collaborative board for social skill lessons. Those are just some ideas. Okay, do we have any questions about anything? Great. So I have also put a survey link on here on this last slide that's in the Google Slides presentation. And so if you'd like to fill it out, it will just help me understand whether or not you may need more information about Nearpod, and have my email. And that is it. So thank you all for coming today. I
Thank you.
appreciate
It was
y'all.
great.
All right. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.